Hi everyone, my name is Caroline. Welcome to my channel Mila Crafts. In this video I would like to show you what I've been working on in terms of cross stitch. But before I step into that, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. So like I said, my name is Caroline. I am 31 years old. I was born in Poland, but I've been living in Ireland for 10 years. And I like to cross stitch. This is my main hobby. I also like to read books, although cross stitch has really taken over my most of my free time. I don't read as much as I used to, although I still try to read every day before bed. But enough about reading, let's talk about cross stitching. So right in front of me I have a pile of WIPs, projects that I have been working on. There isn't that many, to be honest, compared to other stitchers. I have about 9 or 10 projects. There's a bit of variety. Some of them are small, some of them are large. And yeah, I hope you enjoy my WIP parade. And before I start, I would like to show you my recent finishes, because I also have a few of them. So before I jump into my WIPs, I will show you my finishes. So the first one I have here in front of me, it's a kit by the brand called Povitrulia. They are a Ukrainian brand, and this kit was actually gifted to me. So yeah, I would like to show you the final result, because this is the last project that I have finished. So as you can see, I haven't even washed it yet or ironed it yet, so excuse the marks from the hoop. I'm not sure what threads this was stitched with, but the kit came with a 16 count Ada, and I have substituted that fabric for a 38 count cashel linen, just because I think stitches with, that aren't full coverage look quite nice on fabric that is a bit more dense. I don't like the hole showing through. That's why I substituted the fabric, and this is how it turned out. So I'm quite pleased with the result, and in the next coming days I would like to actually wash it, iron it, and hopefully find a frame for it. I'm not sure where I'm gonna frame the right size, but I'm gonna keep an eye out on one. So I really like these flowers. Right. Oh, and the kit is called Primrose, just in case you're interested. You can get these kits on Amazon. So that was my most recent finish. Next up is this lovely finish. So this project is by Emma Congdon, and it comes from her book Cross Stitch for the Earth. I finished it in the second half of last year. I haven't framed it yet, although it is ironed and it's just waiting to be framed. So I actually had to have a frame. I just need to get around to putting it in a frame. I never have time for that. I actually don't like to fully finish my projects as much as I like to stitch them, but I think most of us are like that. So this was stitched on 25 count Lugana in this lovely dark green color, and I stitched this with CXC threads. It's really pretty. I can't wait to put it in a frame. The frame I have for it, I think, is white, if I remember correctly. So this was my first time using CXC threads, and I'm quite pleased with the result. Oh, I forgot to mention, this was stitched 2/2. So I used 2 strands of thread because CXC thread is quite fluffy. So I'm quite happy with the coverage. As you can see, there is nothing showing through. No, the fabric isn't showing through. So I'm quite happy with how it turned out. So next up is a finish that I did in December last year. It's a stocking by Dimensions. It is a kit. It's a very old kit from, I'm not sure which year it is from, to be honest with you. I think it's from the 1990 something or early 2000s. I am not sure. So this was stitched on the Ada that came in the kit. This is 14 count black Ada. It is stitched with Dimensions own threads. The kit is called Gift Bearing teddy stocking, I believe. Took me a while to stitch it because it was quite complicated, especially the checkered pattern, a lot of backstitch. I actually want to fix it a little bit because here, as you can see, I'm afraid if this is put together into a stocking and backed with what is it called, you know, the fabric that stiffens the fabric, I forgot the name. I'm afraid these backstitch lines will get a bit loose, so I think I might actually fix them a little bit and see if it helps. It has my daughter's name on it, and I need to send it over to Poland to my granny, who is a seamstress, and she's going to help me put it together. I do have a sewing machine, although I'm not very confident with it yet. I'm still a very beginner. The most I can do right now is to, you know, secure the edges of my fabric, and that's about it. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. It's a really lovely piece. I stitched the outline of the stocking as well. So yeah, I just need to fix the backstitch and send it over to my grandma, who is going to help me put it together into a stocking. Right, my next finish is one of my most recent ones as well. I finished it earlier this month. It's January as I'm recording it. I'm not sure when this video will come out, probably still in January, but you know, if I don't have the time, I might put it out early February. We'll see. This is Moomins, and the project is by Anna Pechinova, and you can get this pattern on mybobbin.com. Yeah, it took me a while to stitch this one. It's not a huge pattern. It had about just under 11,000 stitches. It is stitched on 18 count Aida, and I used, it was some Chinese threads. They weren't DMC, but they were very like DMC. They weren't like CXC at all, so I'm quite happy with how it turned out. The movements had a bit of blended threads in them, and the background was stitched in just one strand. The movements were stitched in 2 strands, and as you can see, it doesn't really want to focus up close, but as you can see, it turned out quite nicely. It is washed, and it just needs to wait for some kind of backing fabric. I need to find some nice backing fabric for it, because I was thinking to put it into a cushion, like a mini cushion for my daughter. I'm not sure if that idea is gonna work, because originally I wanted to make it a round cushion, but as you can see, the bottom is quite square, or like just a straight line here. It's not round as up the top and on the sides, so I'm not sure if my idea is gonna work. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with it. Maybe you have some ideas and you could help me decide, because I really don't know. I don't want to put it in a frame, you know, like I have enough frames in my house, and I don't want to have a project like this just ending up in a frame. I want to do something more creative with it, but I'm not sure what to do with it yet. So for now, it's finished, it's washed, it's ironed, and it's just waiting for when a bit of creativity streaks, I guess. Alright, and the last finish I want to show you. I wasn't planning to show you this one because I finished it early last year, but it's still hanging in my wardrobe waiting to be put in a frame or whatever. So it's a Barbara Anna design. This is stitched on 32 count Murano fabric in the color Azure Blue, I believe. I stitched this with CXC threads, and it turned out quite lovely, I think. I really love how the girl turned out. I really love the colors in this project. I love the background. I love, you know, the seaside vibe. I really like the seaside theme. Marine kind of coastal theme is one of my favorite things to stitch. I love lighthouses, so I really like this this piece. Don't mind the white border around it. This is called bias tape. I only put it on the project because the lady where I go to frame my projects, she frames them for me. She told me, you know, when I brought her my very first project, she told me to put bias tape all around my projects just for easier framing. So I did it with this one, but to be honest, yeah, it looks a bit weird. Like, I know it's not gonna be visible because that's where she was planning to, you know, grip the fabric and stretch it at the back of the frame. But I don't think I'm gonna do it from now on because I don't really think it's absolutely necessary, and it just adds a little bit of bulk to the whole piece, and it's gonna be at the back. So yeah, I don't think it was a good idea. I am not sure what I'll do with this yet. It's not framed, as you can see. So yeah, I really like how it turned out. Right, so my next few projects, I believe there are 10, 9 of them being stitchy projects and one of them being a project that is purely just beads. I'm going to show you them all. And the first one I have here in front of me, it's called Autumn in Central Park. The artwork is by Thomas Kincaid and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So this is what it looks like so far. I just about finished page 1 and I started stitching the page underneath page 1. I'm not sure if I'll go from pages from now on because I started stitching this on Pattern Keeper, but then I switched to the app called Cross Stitch Saga. I completely just moved my progress and I started stitching with Cross Stitch Saga, and I do like that app quite much better. So yeah, I'm just going to stick to Cross Stitch Saga. But the thing is that Saga doesn't show you the page breaks. So I might just, you know, ditch the whole idea stitching by pages and just stitch, you know, as I go and not really pay attention to the pages. So this is stitched on 25 count easy count Lugana fabric, I believe. And when I started stitching this, I started using the parking method and diagonal method, but then I got very bored and I just went cross country. As you can see, there is a few gaps in the design because I'm missing about 20 colors. The whole design has 89 colors and I'm missing 20 of them. So quite a lot, but thankfully all the main colors that had the most amount of stitches, I had them. So I just need to fill all the little gaps when the remaining colors that I had ordered come. I am stitching this with DMC thread, and this is going to be a gift from my partner who really likes New York and it's his dream to go to New York. So I love the piece, I love how it looks. I hope it will be just as lovely as it is, you know, as the original piece looks when it's stitched. So I'm quite happy with how it's turning out, and you know, I quite like the mini version of it as well. It doesn't bother me whatsoever, the loss of the detail. Like, it is a painting, so you know, the mini still looks very nice. What convinced me to do the mini version is Carla, the Stitchy Witch, who has a Flosstube channel as well. If you know her, that's great. If you don't know her, I highly recommend her channel because it's very interesting and I learned a lot from Carla. She stitched a piece by Thomas Kincaid, also charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and her piece was called Home for the Holidays, and she also stitched a mini and it turned out amazing. So that's why I picked a mini rather than a big version. And you know, we have limited wall space, so I can't have a huge amount of huge projects hung on the walls. We don't have any huge projects hung on the walls just yet because I only picked up large full coverage projects last year. So basically, yeah, this is one of them. And it's not gonna be that big. Like, it's big because it's about 86,000 stitches if I remember correctly. Oh, I am using 10 stitch for this, not full cross. It's 10 stitch, 2 strands over 25 count fabric. So yeah, 86,000 stitches. So it's quite big, but it's not huge, if you know what I mean. I love how it's turning out, and this is my main piece right now, and I try to work on it as much as I can to get some progress because it is a gift after all. So I would like to have it finished I don't know if this year, maybe if not this year, then hopefully next year. Right, the next piece I'm going to show you is my biggest WIP. I'm trying to think how I'm going to show it to you, because look, the frame is huge. It's about 1 meter long. So this is stitched sideways. I'm going to put all the pictures of the projects that I'm stitching as they're gonna look. Maybe I should show you this way actually, because this is you know, the way it's gonna go, because the piece itself is so wide. I couldn't fit it on the frame. This is a 90 centimeter frame. It's nearly 1 meter long, so it's quite big, and it wouldn't fit the picture as they come, so I had to flip it, and I am stitching it sideways. So you can see I haven't got much progress on it. It's about 2% done. I call it my Skyrim piece. This is a stitch inspired by one of my favorite games, Skyrim, which I absolutely love. I love the scenery in the game. That's why I wanted to stitch something that would remind me of the game, and you know, it's just a lovely picture. This was charted by a Polish lady called Bożena. She has a Facebook group where she sells you know, patterns that she had made, and she uses a ton of blended threads, which is a bit hard to stitch with, but I believe like you can tame the method by having the right organization of your threads. And you know, it's still challenging, it's a bit slow, but I think the final result will be worth it. So this is what it looks like up close. Like I said, it has a ton of blends. Look at the amount of threads. This is stitched with DMC threads, 10 stitch, 1/1, or no, 2/1, on a fabric called Congress Stramin. Some people call it Congress cloth, I believe. It's 24 count. So it's similar to Lugana, but not really, because it's very stiff and it's very, very hard to put it in a hoop. That's why I have it on one of these frames. So yeah, I hope I told you all the details that are quite important. If I had forgotten something, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I will try to answer them all. I'm only starting the English Flosstube. I actually do have a Polish channel. I've been recording Flosstube since February last year, so nearly a year. But my Polish Flosstube, I don't show my face, so I am a little bit nervous today, you know, because I'm not used to talking in front of the camera. And I just want to show you as well the needle minder that I have is a dragon. I made this one myself out of a brooch, I believe. I think you call it a brooch. You know, the thing that you pin to your clothing. I removed the pin at the back and just glued a magnet, which wasn't easy because look at the back of it. But anyway, the back is not important. Look at the front. It's so pretty. I love the dragon, and of course the Skyrim game is about dragons, so it had to be a dragon. I love my needle minders. I have so many, and the other needle minder I have on this project is actually from Carla's shop, Stitchy Witch. She has a shop on Etsy and she sells gorgeous needle minders. So this is one of her original artworks, and it's one of the first needle minders I bought from her. I have a few. She gifted me a few as well, so thank you very much, Carla. And while we're talking about Carla, I wanted to say thank you, Carla, because you were one of the people who really encouraged me to start an English Flosstube. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I just wanted to mention your needle minders because they're so cool. Right, so next up is the beading project that I have. So maybe I'll show you the final result first, because I don't have a picture of it. I have the cover of the kit. So this is a dream catcher. Dream catchers are one of my favorite things. Wherever I go on holidays, I always try to find a dream catcher and bring it home and, you know, expand my collection. I have a dream catcher in nearly every room in my house at this stage because I have so many. I just love them. But you can never have too many, and I am making myself one. So this is what it's gonna look like. So far on this project I haven't got a lot of progress. I have just about done one feather. This is, you know, you do both sides, so this is one side is completely finished, and then I've done about half, maybe a bit less than half on the other side. So this is what it looks like. It's gonna be so pretty. So yeah, this is only one feather. I still have to do the other two feathers on the center, and then in the kit you get acrylic bases for the feathers and this kind of circle to go around the acrylic base for the center of the dream catcher. And you have thread, which by the way, this is like bright purple, and here in the picture it looks dark blue, like navy. So I don't think purple will go well with these colors. Like, what do you think? There's blues in here, blues, yellows, and kind of like green. So I think I'm gonna swap this thread for something that is, you know, similar to the color that looks in the picture. Yeah, I'm quite confused about this one. I'm not sure why. Maybe they made a mistake. This is by a brand called Wonderland Crafts, and it's a Ukrainian brand. And this kit was kindly gifted to me by my friend Asha. So thank you very much, Asha. She gifted me lots of amazing cross-stitch things, and yeah, when she sent me that parcel, I was just, oh my god, my mind was blown away. Seriously, she sent me so much stuff. Right, so next projects that I want to show you is something that I want to finish next month in February. So this is a coffee van, and the pattern is by, if I only remember the name, the lady that made the pattern is called Alena Savchenko. Yes, you can get this pattern on mybobbin.com. So as you can see, all the stitches are done. It just needs to have a lot of backstitch, a lot of backstitch. So I quite like how it looks. I'm dying to see what it will look like with the backstitch. I'm planning to give this to one of my friends who actually has a business, which is like a little coffee van like this in a park. Yeah, but when will I give it to him? I'm not sure. But I'm excited to finish this. This was stitched on 14 count Ada. Now I wish I had switched the fabric to something else, but look, it's too late now. So hopefully in February this will be a finish. So yeah, next up we have another project that is so close to finishing. It's 85% done, and this is a pattern by Owl Forest Embroidery. It is called Rose Hip Summer Sampler, and yeah, it's such an easy pattern. It just uses a few colors, I think like 8 or 9 maybe, I'm not sure. It's nearly done. I'm also planning to finish this one in February. I am stitching this with DMC threads on 32 count Murano fabric, 2/2. I love it. It's stitched on hand-dyed fabric. I bought it off one of the Polish Flosstube girls that I watch. Yeah, and you can't really see the color of the fabric very well here because of the light, but it's actually a bit darker yellow than it shows here. And yeah, it has like kind of white splotches, I would say. You can't see it very well. So yeah, this is also going to be a finish very soon. So I'm excited for that one. I am actually trying to whip down because maybe, you know, I don't have a lot of projects. Like other people can have like 30, 40, 50, which is like mind-blowing for me. There's nothing wrong with that. If you love to start cross-stitch projects, you know, go ahead and do it if it makes you happy. But for me, as much as I love watching Flosstubers who have a lot of projects and, you know, show progress on their work, for me, having so many projects is just overwhelming. I can't mentally handle it. I did start a lot of projects last year when I discovered Flosstube because, you know, I saw everyone was stitching a lot of projects and I wanted to as well. But yeah, it's the amount I have now. It's overwhelming because I like to work on all of my projects, and you know, it's just not possible. I have a 3-year-old toddler. She'll be 3 next month, and you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Well, not quite, because I do work as well, but I don't have a ton of time for stitching, only in the evenings. And you know, during the day I don't really do much stitching, so in the evenings sometimes I'm too tired. I still try to stitch every day, but you know, sometimes I make more progress, sometimes less. And yeah, I can't handle this many projects, so I am trying to whip down. I'm trying not to start anything new, which, you know, I hope I last in my resolution. If I don't, so be it, but I would like to last, to kind of help my head clear a little bit from the overwhelming amount of projects. Anyway, the next project I want to show you is called Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. I believe this piece is very, very popular. When I saw it in 2023, I fell in love. It's just amazing. I'm not much of a sampler person. I like to stitch full coverage the most, but Modern Folk embroidery samplers are just amazing, I think. So this is stitch 2/2 on 32 count Belfast linen. I won't tell you what color of the fabric this is because I simply can't remember. I bought it ages ago. I am stitching this in anchor threads. I cannot remember the numbers. There's 2 numbers, but I will put them on the screen so you can see. So my plan was to finish this last year, but I got really burned out. I stitched, you know, this is divided into 12 parts, so a part each month. And to be honest with you, I got so overwhelmed when I stitched this month by month, because it was about 4,000, 5,000 stitches per month. I just got burned out and I needed to take a break. So I stitched to about this. I was on this tile, which is a August tile, and I put this project away for about half a year, and I came back to it this year. So I've made a bit of progress. I finished the house and I started stitching this part here that is not finished yet. This is the September part, and I would like to finish it soon and carry on and finish the last 3 parts down the bottom. And as you can see, I changed a little bit on this pattern. So I changed the initials, so C, D, and on the bottom where the R is, it's the initial of my daughter's name. There should be a little squirrel, but I wanted to include the first letters of our name. So my name, my partner's name, and my daughter's name. So I modified the pattern a little bit, just for my own, you know, for my own need. I love how it's turning out. Oh my god, it's just so beautiful. I would love to have it framed when I finish it, although I'm not sure if I frame it right away, because framing is expensive, you guys. If I frame it at home, that's fine, but this is too big of a project and I don't think I have the ability to frame it on my own. So yeah, I'm gonna bring it to the framing lady that I mentioned before, and I don't want to know how much it's gonna cost me. Anyway, the next project I'm going to show you, this is a kit by RTO. It's called Antique Porcelain. This is stitched on 16 count Aida, and it has a partially, how do you call it? It's like partially painted canvas. So you basically stitch on the painted part of the canvas. I hope there'll be no issues with washing this afterwards. This is stitched with DMC threads that came in the kit, and this was a gift from my partner, so I haven't made that much progress on it. Maybe I'll show you at the back. So I'm only about, if I remember correctly, about 10% in. This pattern uses some blended threads. The colors are really pretty. There's some dark greens, some purples, kind of light pinks, blues. some yellows, golden. It's quite a nice project, although it's not on my top priority list right now. And right now it's just, you know, it's being put away. I have no big plans for this project. If I don't finish it this year, which I don't think I will, that's fine. It's not huge, it's about 10,000 stitches or so. So I'll finish it eventually, but yeah, it's not on the top list, you know what I mean? Yeah, did I tell you everything? I hope I did. So the next project, and I have 3 more projects to show you. So this is another kit by a brand called Riolis, and this one is called Traveling Sorcerer, and it's stitched on 14 count Aida, and I have about 30%. I think I'm 30% in, so I have quite a bit more to get it finished. I absolutely love this picture, this image, the vibe of it. It's just, yeah, I love it. I fell in love with this picture ever since I saw it, and I bought the kit. And this is actually my restart, because I did stitch it before and I got to about 40%, and then I realized that I skipped an entire row of stitches, and that's fine. I started unpicking the stitches to fix. I had to unpick about 1,000 stitches. But as I was doing that, I ripped the fabric, which was devastating. I can tell you that. So what I did, I put it away for a few days. I slept on it and then I made a decision. I will buy another kit and start stitching it again. So here we go. I just love the colors. This pattern has only 17 colors, I believe, and it is stitched with acrylic yarn that comes with most of Riolis kits, so it's a very thick thread. As you can see, it's a little bit like, I wanted to say it's a little bit like CXC, but it's a little bit more thicker. It's like yarn, kind of, not as quite bulky as yarn, but you know, it's acrylic, so wool acrylic. So yeah, it's wool acrylic. A lot of people are allergic to this yarn actually, so I've heard of allergy cases. So a lot of people get, like, you know, runny nose and sneezing and that when they stitch. I have a lot of allergies, like to dust and a lot of animals and stuff, but thankfully I don't have any issues with this type of thread. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I would like to work on this piece in February, because I haven't picked it up in a few months now. So it would be nice to get some progress, but we'll see. All right. Another project I want to show you is also by the brand called Riolis, and this is called Tender Love, and this is what I have done it. It's a lovely image of a mother and a daughter, and it actually reminds me of myself and my daughter, because we have a very similar picture to the one that is illustrated. Really nice. And I'm actually stitching this as part of like a Facebook challenge. It's a Polish group, and the owner of the group also has a Flosstube channel, and she organized this yearly challenge. So you divide the amount of stitches, including backstitch. If you use Cross Stitch Saga, it shows you the backstitch as well, so it's easy to do. You divide it by 52, which is the number of the weeks in a year, and each week you have to stitch that amount of stitches. So in my case it's 388 stitches, and then you have to, every Saturday you have to report with a picture and a picture of your progress on Cross Stitch Saga. And yeah, so I'm not sure how far I'm into this pattern, about 15% maybe, not a lot anyway, but I think it's a solid start. So I've been stitching this weekly. I pick this piece on Mondays, and I try to sit down in the morning. Mondays are kind of my quiet day, you know. I work on the weekends, so Monday is kind of my half the day, at least in the morning. It's my chill day. Before I start doing stuff, I like to pick this one up and work on it and do my 388 stitches. So this is what it looks like. Now it has lovely pastel colors, and this is also stitched on 14 count Aida with this wool acrylic yarn, which doesn't bother me, it's okay. These gaps here, this is actually a stitched area, but it's only stitched with one strand. That's why it looks weird. But yeah, it looks okay in the distance, and it looks okay in real life. So I'm really excited for this one. I can't wait for Monday. Well, today as I'm recording, this is Saturday, so I'll be able to pick this piece back up soon and work on it a little bit more. I really love it. Right, so the last project I want to show you, this was my first full coverage Heaven and Earth Designs project, which I'm so excited for. On Carla's group on her Discord, we have a little stitch along going that we're stitching, you know, fancy ladies but full coverage, and this is the project I picked, and this is called Yumiko. Like I said, it's from Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by Margaret Morales, and this is stitched on 24 count Congress cloth, 10 stitch 2/1. Look at these amazing needle minders. So the Yumiko one was gifted to me by Carla. Everyone in the stitch along got this kind of needle minder with the name of their projects and a lovely quote. So mine says "one stitch at a time," and it says when I started. So as you can see, I started this in October 2024, and the needle minder next to it is also by Carla, and I bought it off her Etsy shop, and it's of course with a lovely pink dream catcher. You know I love dream catchers, so yeah, this is about 3% done. It's quite a big project because it's a regular size, and it has about 300,000 stitches, just above that. So yeah, it's quite big. I need to work on it more because I haven't picked it up in a while. But like I said, it's hard to pick all of your projects up every month. So I'm trying, you know, to rotate them as best as I can and get a decent amount of progress before I move on to a next one. I try not to force myself. If I don't feel like stitching a particular project, if I get too tired of it, I pick another one up, and I try not to make crazy plans. Although, you know, sometimes it gets overwhelming because if I'm stitching one project, I would think of another one that's put away in the wardrobe, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel so guilty, I haven't stitched on that one in a long time. But yeah, these were all my projects. I hope you like them. I hope you like my first Flosstube episode, and I hope you come back for more. If you like this video, please hit the like button, possibly subscribe. That would be very nice, make me very, very happy, and it would motivate me to make more videos. And I would like to come back soon, maybe in a couple of weeks, in a few weeks, to, you know, bring you an update on what I stitched during that time and show you my progress. So like I said, if you like this video, please hit the like button, possibly leave me a comment so I know you liked it. And thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!